My name is Ray, and my partner name is Jay, and we are land investors. In less than 3 years, the land business has changed our lives in ways we can only imagine. We want to show you how to do the same exact thing we did to change our family's future forever, just as you can for yours.
Welcome to Land and Legacy. My name is Jay.
My name is Ray.
And we are
the Acre Boys.
And always who we got with us, our partner in crime, Cardigan Harris is joining us again today.
Salutations, everyone. Salutations.
So what we want to talk about today is...
First and foremost,
Happy New Year. Happy New Year. How can we forget about that? Even though we're already back to business, but Happy New Year. Hopefully everybody enjoyed their New Year. You went out and had a good time, you celebrated, champagne, all of that. But, you know, the focus is back on because the New Year is over. So now we back to doing what we was doing normally. And the topic for today is why. Why do you want to become a land investor? Why is it something that you have in you, something that you saw that you were interested in? I can jump in real quick and just tell you, our why coming into this was just to change, the format of our future, of our family, everything. We all of us men here, we're sitting, we have kids. My why is definitely, my child who is coming up behind me, watching everything that I do. My why is to change, what they call generational curses. Now, I'm not saying I came from a bad family or anything like that, but as far as resources and things when it comes along to that element, this is my why for go ahead and doing something that's pretty much in my family uncommonly done. Because when we talk about environment and everything else that goes around with that, sometimes you only go as high as the expectations. You're only going to go as high as your expectations. So let's just say, the expectations are real low. There's no barometer for a person inside of that environment to succeed because they're only going what they're expected to do. That's why with what we have going on over here, especially for the new year, our expectations went from here to here. Now, on top of doing what we were doing last year, now we're going to bring up those that mail to about $30,000 to $40,000 units per month, because now it's time to exceed what we've done. So our why is raising the bar. I'm gonna say my why. I'm gonna let y'all talk about y'all, but my why is to raise the bar, to do something that's never been done in my family before.
Well, my why for land, I guess you can say that's a loaded question to some degree. First of all, you never know what you're going to end up doing, right? We tried a lot of things, and land totally wasn't on our screen. I didn't see this being something that would stick. In fact, I was unaware, just like many of you may be unaware of what's going on in the land space. But just through our travels and looking to do something and looking to be successful, once I ran in the land, I quickly came to the conclusion that there's nowhere else that I would rather be than in this space. One major reason for me why I choose this as my why is because there's no competition in this space, and I like playing in spaces to where I have the opportunity to be at the forefront of something. I think that's super exciting to me. I don't want to be in a crowded, busy arena, and it all works though. Even as a realtor, as busy and crowded it is in that space, people still making a lot of money. I'm just saying that in the land space, that it's not that much competition as it is to traditional real estate. So that's one of my biggest reasons. And let's just disqualify the elephant in the room. The elephant in the room is that we make a shitload of money. So that's my why. I always want to be involved in something that I could be at the forefront of, and something that I could make irregular money doing, massive amounts. There's no ceiling for me with this, right? The ceiling is only what depends on what we create and how much effort and how much work we want to put in. If we want to make $100,000, we can say, hey, Jay, I'm cool with making $100,000. Let's fall back. Let's go to the gym and do whatever else we have to do. If we want to go after $1 million a month, there's no ceiling. We can put together, find a way to scale to get to $1 million a month. And in fact, that's our plan, as he stated, is to ramp up more in 2023, to break records that we have already set. And we did really well in 2022. I'm proud of the accomplishments that we established in 2022. Most proud of that we got the cost underway, and that our investors, I hate to use the word students, I love the word investors, that our investors are now, they're off to the races, and they're starting to get phone calls and deals coming back in. I always heard about that. I've heard about how gratifying it is to put some money and some knowledge into somebody else and watch it happen. And now we're actually witnessing that. And I have the same sentiment as everybody else before me have said. It's a great feeling to show somebody how to do something and watch them be successful at it. So that's another one of my whys now, is that we can show other people and help somebody else make some money, and not looking for a pat on the back either. It's just something that, and in fact, you pay for it. You paid for some information, and it was great information, and it worked. I'm happy that it worked, because that's the same thing that was done for us. And if it wasn't done for us, it would be no Acre Boys, it would be no cost, it would be no Land and Legacy. So each one teach one. And that's really my biggest why. I said about 4 different whys. So just take all of that with you, because I got a lot of whys gonna come away.
I got a culmination of whys too, and one that resonated with me is, and I paused and I said, why not? So clearly, with that being said, right, I have a family. I have 3 children. My children are grown though. However, children kind of, they don't do what you say, they do what you do. So I wanted to change the trajectory of my family. And at some point in time in my family, I was labeled as the black sheep. I'm quite sure a lot of people may share that same sentiment. But what I've noticed is, with proper information, dedication, and discipline, that black sheep can then turn into the GOAT. So I wanted to be the GOAT of my family, the first self-made from the mud millionaire. And my professions on what I was doing prior to land investing, I reached that glass ceiling. I knew I couldn't reach there. So I wanted to reinvent myself. I wanted to find something new that I could rechannel my efforts and energy into, that can give me that lifestyle I've dreamed, I've read about, and I've met people who made that 40, 50, 60, $100,000 a month. I thought it was a little, that you can obtain that, until I actually started to see it resonate in land investing. And land investing is nomadic, meaning we could do it from the comfort of our own home. So that was very impressive to me post-pandemic, that I could stay at my home with my computer and Wi-Fi, tend to my children's needs, my family needs, and run a successful business just from my laptop. So that was one of my whys, and why I said, you know what, why not become a land investor? Like they all mentioned before, we've had real estate experience, and we did relatively well at times, and I won't shy away from that. However, in terms of comparing apples to apples and oranges to oranges, I do believe the land business is resonated on a higher scale right now. It's new, and another why is there is no one that I met in land investing that looked like us 3 brothers here. So if that hits strike a mark with you on the inside, I would say, hey, tend to it. JCL, Acre Boys, on the move. Be a part of it or get left. And one thing I know for sure, if you want to go far, you want to go fast, go by yourself. You want to go far, there's some good company around you.
Yes, sir. I think you summed it up well. And another thing I would add to this is, during this whole conversation, we got to understand, the benefits that we have. A lot of times, we do a lot of complaining, as far as people. We do a lot of complaining as far as what's wrong, instead of finding out what's right. I think it's a combination of different things. Understanding all of us, travel, whatever the case may be. Sometimes I think that we don't really understand the opportunity that we have, because we come from a place that's primarily privileged already. So when I mean by primarily privileged, I mean that other people in certain demographics of the world don't have access to the things that we have access to. I don't care whether that be water. I don't care whether that be lighting. I don't care whether that be access to information. They have no access. A lot of countries can't even participate in the stock market, and we have these things readily available, and most of us don't even use them. So I don't understand that particular frame of mind, and that's something that we talked about for a long time. It's like, we don't sometimes, and I always give this example. We live in New York, maybe about a half an hour from Times Square. You have people that come all the way from around the world to come to Times Square in order to see it. But the people who live in New York and around New York, they don't value it the same, because it's always there. They take it for granted. And that's exactly what's happening right now. We take it for granted because we already have access to it. Now, if somebody was to strip us away from here and stick us in another part of the country that you didn't have access to any of these kind of things, I guarantee when you got back here, you take advantage of it. So this, I think that's our message for today. These are the whys, and one of my big whys is because what if you didn't have access to it? What if you couldn't just open up an LLC? What if you couldn't just, jump into a business like I heard from Eric Thomas? Most of the work is already done. Only thing it takes is for you to get involved and step on the gas and change some things that you probably want to change anyway.
All right, so without further ado, man, do us a favor and please hit that like button,
comment,
follow,
subscribe, all that.
Subscribe, share
All
the
that.
video. We'll be back with more. As you can see, this page is starting to grow, and we do appreciate that. And just stay locked in on what the Acre Boys got going on.
Yes, sir.
Peace and love.
Peace and love. Salutations.